Hey fellow cosplayers, Red Great Cosplayer here. This is the problem, I don't have a script. I never have a script, and I just talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about. We're starting off a new year, and so I actually wanted to start off a new series where I talk about my favorite tools, because we all know that I love my tools. How you use them, what they're for, where you can find them. Whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just starting out, there are a ton of cosplay tools out there to choose from. Having the right tool will make a big difference when you're trying to bring your characters to life. One of the primary reasons why having the right tools is so important is because it helps with proficiency and accuracy. Whether you're cutting foam and shaping it into whatever it is you're making that day, you want to make sure that your measurements are exact and clean. Now, unfortunately for me, my proficiency and accuracy is not the tippiest top of everything. I have seen a lot of creators who are a lot more precision and focused in their detail cuts, but I will say that since I got my own proper tools for certain areas, my proficiency and my accuracy has definitely improved since. It's really important to have a sharp knife that you're working with, especially with foam, because the duller the knife, the worse your cut's going to be. And then you're going to spend way more time dremeling. I can tell you this for a fact, because way back in like the early 2000s, I used to not have a proper X-Acto knife. I was running off fumes. And so after I cut things, I would Dremel it after I cut it, so that I could clean up the edges. And let me tell you, that leads us into our second problem, which is time. The essence of time is tricky, okay? And I've had many people ask me, how long did something take? Girl, I don't know. I don't know. I have only started recently putting on little stopwatches while I am working on stuff, because I too am curious. I don't know. I just go. I should put that on a t-shirt. I don't know. I just go. Because it's the slogan of my life. You want to be able to be time efficient, especially if you're busy doing a whole bunch of other things and you only have a certain amount of time in a week to work on a costume, which a lot of people do. Time management is important. And having the right tools of the trade will actually help in that respect, because it'll help cut down time, it'll help cut down costs, because you're going to use less resources probably, and the time that you save you can use to perfect what you're doing, instead of just, like me, going off the handle. Another thing that having the proper tools will help with is alleviating unnecessary stress. Trying to use a blow dryer instead of using a heat gun, while it does work to a point, this will make your life so much easier, because it can go a lot higher, it can heat a lot faster. Again, there's that time efficiency thing. Something to be said about having the proper tools for the proper job. So let's dive into the must-have tools. I mean, we all have our basic crafting tools. You have your scissors. This was one of my first tools I've ever gotten. It's a heat gun. I've talked about this several times in several videos, about how important it is when you're working with certain plastics or foam for heat sealing or shaping. Speaking of heating, there's this beautiful thing called a Versatool you can get from Michaels. Also, back to shaping, we have a Dremel. And now the Dremel company actually makes a bunch of different attachments, but that will be in the next video over there. Especially because a lot of people just paint by hand or paint with acrylics. You don't really need an airbrush gun per se, but I think it speaks for itself when it actually helps with all the extra details or the fine-tuning. This is called a heat knife. This puppy is scary, because when it gets turned on, you can cut through almost anything, including yourself. You can burn yourself real bad. It should be surprising to no one that cosplayers love to use power tools when they're working on a project. Go Gadget Ryobi! This is how I bring a hot glue gun with me to conventions sometimes, just because that way I can have battery powered. I don't have to have a plug with me, because sometimes we don't have plugs at conventions, and you can swap out your batteries and keep it going. Last but not least, in the creative tools, you have your sander. Now this one's a circular, with a little attachment. And it works pretty well. I almost want to get a smaller one that has the pointed tip to it because I think it would help with some detail work. I was going to make this video before Christmas so that I could say, hey, if you're looking for any gifts for Christmas for your cosplay friends, well, here it is. I know that a lot of it right now is very much a shopping and then styling. But if you're going to get into the craft portion of it, look no further. What is your favorite tool you like to use for cosplay building? Also, what's your least favorite tool for cosplay building? Like the one that you cannot stand using. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything I should add to my collection? Let me know down in the comments. You know, write a little something in the comments. I like to hear from you guys. Remember, we're here for a fun time, not a long time, so just have fun with it. Happy crafting and stay inspired. Till next time, see ya!